So if you remember at the start of the course, I suggested that you install Fiddler to capture web traffic through the proxy. So the tests that we've run so far, we can see that they're passing, but we don't really have any visibility into actually what's going on. So if you direct your rest assured traffic or your API calls for a proxy, we can actually capture and see exactly what's going on. So to do that is very simple. Firstly, we just start up Fiddler. So this is my Fiddler running here. So just launch Fiddler. From where you set it up, from when you installed it before, you should be able to just literally run it and get to this point. And then to send our traffic through Fiddler for our tests, we just simply add in the proxy details. So we add rest assured.proxy, and our proxy is listing on localhost. The default Fiddler port is 8888, so you can change that in Fiddler if you want, but that should be the detail port. So now all of our traffic is going to get sent through that proxy. So let's just run our test again. So we're just running our very simple test that's calling this endpoint again. Okay, and we can see our test passed, and that's fine. If we go over now to Fiddler, we can see that we've recorded that actual call. And if we look, we can actually see the request and the response. So we can see that we actually called app8080. We can see the headers that we sent, not many in this case, and we can see exactly what we got back. So we're actually getting XML back with some XML of the data. We can view that a bit cleaner, so that we can see the actual response that we're getting for the API. So being able to send the traffic through Fiddler or any other proxy, it will be really helpful later on when you're starting to write more complex tests and you're adding in more headers, and it gives you that assurance that you can actually see what's going backwards and forwards. One important thing to remember is that if you're going to specifically run through a proxy here, that the proxy must be running. So for example, if I was to just close Fiddler, I'm just going to close it from here. If I run this test again, I would expect this test not to fail because the proxy is no longer listening. I would expect the request to be rejected, and here we'll get this connection refused error. So that's an important thing to remember. So if you want to run for a proxy, you need to add this here. If you don't want to have Fiddler running, then you can just simply comment this out or not include it altogether. But I find this is very useful when you're developing tests, and just something to bear in mind. Okay, see you in the next lecture.